set up while we wait for everybody to get in here. It's a little bit later than my normal live times. Let's see. There we go. Hi guys, welcome in, welcome in. LKM, how are you, my friend? I don't know if my ducks are still in the tub. Give me 1 second while I go and double check on them. I'm not sure. Hi, Cowboy. Good evening, Annabelle. 1 second. I gotta see if my ducks are still in the tub. Are you guys still in the tub? Come here. I am living in a barn. Here we go. Oh. Come here, Charlotte. I know, you're mad. Tell me that you're not mad. We are live. We are live. Hi, Abraham. Hi, Carrie. Hi, guys. Sorry, I forgot that the ducks were still in the tub. I am living in a barn, like an indoor barn right now. But it's all going to pay off in the end. I just have to have some sort of patience. Hi, Karen from Connecticut. Welcome in. I have to have some. The terminus in the house. Let's go, Strong Eyes. So we've got a lot of things to discuss. I'm going to be opening a couple boxes from Freeze Dry Wholesalers. I have no idea what I ordered. Hello from Ontario. Welcome in, welcome in. But there's a lot of things going on in the world. And the fact that America is like, no, there's no reason to prepare. Even though we have, as long as you close the door. No reason to prepare, right? Well, other countries are like, you should be getting at least 72 hours. And that's like a minimum. Hello from Albuquerque, New Mexico. My best friend is from New Mexico. How is the weather there? It's not too hot yet, is it? It was pretty warm here today. I like already have like a sunburn and it was like only in the 70s and I know it's going to be in the 80s in like a week. But they are all like, no, there's nothing to prepare for. I have no idea what I ordered from Freeze Dry Wholesalers. What do you guys think I ordered? Started looking at some prices for canned vegetables. Let's go. So that's a good thing. Okay, that's an excellent thing for us to talk about. So what Carrie just said, she looked at things. These things aren't imported. Those prices shouldn't raise. And that is one thing that I try to preach to everybody, that our supply system is so incredibly broken. And we saw it with the pandemic, right? We saw, oh, everybody wants this. So grocery stores, big box stores, they all raised their prices. They were like, nah, we're going to raise that a little bit more. That's why I'm very picky about the companies that I like buy from and what I do, because you see a lot about, hello, Kelly, welcome in. You see a lot about corporations when they know that there's like a pending shortage that could happen. Most of the time, these bigger stores, they're going to just up their rates, whether it's a 10% raise, 12% raise, 20% raise. And that's why self-sustainability is so incredibly important right now, because how much more can we handle? I want you guys to think like money-wise. Let's talk money. Rent prices in the early 1990s was around the average, like the American average. I know that there's other people in here from other countries, was around $400. The average currently right now for an apartment is $1,900. That's in 30 years. So in 30 years, if some of you guys have younger children, they're looking at almost $4,000 in rent. That is insane. Hello, Chrissy. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, this is a fancy box. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have gotten a little tipsy when I made this order. Hi, Egg. Welcome in, welcome in. We got freeze-dried pepperoni pizza. Freeze-dried pepperoni pizza. Freeze-dried cheese pizza. That's my son's. You're a little tipsy now. Fortunate. Hello from Ohio. Freeze-dried vegetable pizza. I thought this was a supreme pizza. I do know that I thought that, but I'll eat it. What is in here? Freeze-dried meat lovers. That's a win in my book. Freeze-dried stuffed cheese bread. Ooh. Yeah. LKM, my heart breaks for you guys right now. I was watching the elections for you guys. LKM. I'm sorry. I am really sorry. Yep. That's an extra $12, and that's a lot. Your garden will be the biggest it's been in 15 years. Yep. So on this property alone, so YouTube told me, they said, your video wasn't as popular as your other videos. Maybe change up the subject. And I was gardening yesterday or the day before. And I was like, ouch, because people are going to really need to garden. I grow a majority of all of that on a quarter of an acre. I just purchased 80 acres. Just purchased. Like less than 5 months ago. And somebody in the comments was like, haul in some manure, throw that on, throw your potatoes in. You'll have potatoes so many that you can't like know what to deal with. And I was like, done. The soil's crap there and I have so much work to do. So much. Oh, I guarantee your heart's feeling heavy. My heart breaks for Canada right now. My heart breaks. Parmesan bread bites. Freeze-dried stuffed cheese bread. And that's one of the reasons why we prep even more. So if you have a lot of shade, your brassicas will do really well. Here, I have to, so my brassicas are in right now, and I will harvest those by the end of June. And then I will put more brassicas in, like, at the beginning of September, because they'll go to bolt. Like, everything bolts out here. Really, really rough. I wish I had an area that's, like, more shaded. No, I agree. It doesn't really matter. It's all crappy because at the end of the day, they don't want... Okay, we got another one. They don't want you guys to be successful at the end of the day. Remember, the government's about themselves. It doesn't matter who's in power. They're always going to choose themselves. They're always going to have their own bunkers, their own... I mean, think about this. You know that Senates go in on a meeting. Okay, so I'm friends with some politicians. I'm friends with them. They have meetings of something, if something was bad to happen, they have evacuation plans. Do you have one? Has your government sat down and said, this is, hey you, hey Jen in the back, you're going to go here, you're going to meet up, blah, 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 blah. Or if something, the worst case scenario, we got something for that. Heck no. Oh, what is this? I ordered a lot of food, guys. Freeze-dried, fried whole eggs. Freeze-dried cheddar omelets. Freeze-dried cheddar omelets. Can you tell I like eggs? I have my own freeze dryer, but some of these things I think I would do a very good successful job. Oh, I ordered my favorite. This one is the pumpkin pound cake from Freeze Dry Wholesalers. This is my absolute favorite. This is my absolute favorite. I know I can make my own pumpkin cake, pound cake, but this one is amazing. You have to pre-order it, Jeffrey. You have to pre-order on the pizza. Freeze-dried Belgian waffles. Freeze-dried bread toast sticks. I already make these for my family. I'll make a ton of French toast, and then I'll slice it up into sticks, and I'll put it in the freezer. Tons of purple green bean. Ooh, another thing of French toast. But this one, you won't be disappointed. Use it in a steamer. I know that sounds like weird, but you can get those silicone inserts for your pans to make as a steamer. And I just set a silicone insert into it when I'm out in the field. And I just put it over, and then I'll bring the water to a boil. I'll set it in, and I'll put the lid on it. And once it's soft, it doesn't get spongy. It doesn't get soggy. You're definitely not having to pour water over it or anything like that. It just rehydrates it in a slow way. So then it's like a fresh loaf of bread. It's divine. Divine. I'm trying to go back through. Serena, thank you so much for the gift. Hello from Toronto. Gardens are going to be probably the most important thing for you to have this year. With the way the prices are increasing, I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you. There's cargo ships off the coast, off the West Coast. Y'all thought that the strike was going to be bad. This is going to get bad. They're off the coast just like during COVID. And even if it's something that's not imported, they're going to jack prices up. Guys, that's what it comes down to. They want to make a buck. If they feel like any other, it's the same as what the avian flu did. Okay. So freeze-dried wholesalers, that's who I buy from. They buy from the same egg farm for all of their stuff. Okay. Their farm did not experience any avian flu. So they never increased their prices, even though Ready Wise and Ready Hour and Be Prepared, all of those places increased their egg prices because of the egg shortage. But he sources local, and he was like, it hasn't increased, so I'm going to keep it the same price. It was like $34 for freeze-dried eggs. And he's like, I'm keeping it the same. And I talked to the owner, Steve. He's a wonderful person. And he's like, there's no reason for it to increase. Now, as the other stores and their facilities, some got hit and some did not get hit. The ones that did not get hit, they chose to raise their prices to match the consumerism prices. Understand, at the end of the day, you are just a number to them. That is it. It is very far and in between to find CEOs and corporations and that actually care about the consumer. It is very rare to find. So other stores matched. Hi, Perry. Welcome in. Welcome in. Canned meat. Yep. Anything. Buy it up. Yeah, I would buy everything right now, especially your canned goods. I know I'm going to be dropping a video about that right now, but most of the material for canned goods is imported. The metal, all of that, most of it's imported. So expect a significant raise in prices. Now is the time to do it. I just went insanely crazy on buying all my canning lids because I do know with canning lids, a lot of it gets imported. I have to wait and check on nuts and bolts, screws, nails. Oh, I agree. Little Red, I'm trying to get as many things ordered as possible for the property and get as much rainwater collection out there as I physically can. Mind you, I am only 5'1", and a lot of the time I'm doing the work alone. So memberships coming in. Strong Eyes, you don't have to do that. You're so kind. I can do a lot, but sometimes I need more able bodies, and sometimes I don't have that. So I like to jimmy rig a lot of things so that it works the best for me, but I'm definitely going to need some help. And I have to wait till that help is readily available. Now, this week, there should be a really cool video coming out, and I'm going to take you into the OG of preppers home. My family house. I'm not even going to lie to you. There might be some buckets in the basement that are like 50 years old. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. I'm just going to do a little tour, just things that you have when you grow up with a bunch of preppers. And we're talking generations. So like I have cast iron skillets that are from my great-great-grandpa, which is from the 1800s. I have ladles that my great-great-grandpa used because my grandpa and me were really close. And so he left me a lot of this. The last time I went in there, when we were cleaning it out, I threw out tuna that was canned. Not tuna, trout. It was trout. My grandpa and my grandma went fishing. They caught some trout. And of course, they had to pressure can that up really quick. And yeah, that should be in a museum of mine. You ordered extra lids? Let's go. Ordering extra lids is really important, and especially any extra parts. I was looking on, Chrissy's in here. What is the name of the website? So is Kelly. Layman's? They had inserts, rings for my Presto canner, so I ordered 2. You helped your grandma order lids last week. That's so sweet of you. That's so kind. That's so important too. Not many understand that technology can be harder and we need to help out those that are struggling. Did I miss it? Why didn't it show it for me? Thank you for the memberships. It didn't show it. Did I do something wrong? Why does it not show on my side? Strong Eyes, thank you so much. Have you used tater lids? I haven't. I got the Superb. I won't say Super B. I got in trouble for that. I don't hate you. I promise I do not hate you. I promise. It just does not show on my screen. I'm so sorry. Plumbing that needs to be done. Strong Eyes, thank you. Can somebody relay the memberships to me? Because it's not showing on my screen. It's actually doing something a little weird with the chat. It like keeps shrinking it down. Amazing store. You could spend hours in there. That store might make me broke. Put the barbecue sauce away. Don't eat me, please. I don't want to go to Camp Terminus, okay? I'll help you run Camp Terminus. Like, let me do some of the other stuff. But I don't really feel like being eaten, okay? I don't feel like being a snack. A snack. I don't know on that. She's our master gardener. We need her. I don't think I'm a master gardener. I think you guys will actually get really frustrated with me. Welcome in, Joey. Will get really frustrated with me when you see my gardens. So I am a chaos gardener. An area may say it's only good for 2 tomato plants, maybe 4 is pushing it. I am going to figure out how to have like 7 or 8 in there. And then I'm going to be constantly adding to the soil because I know the soil is going to get drained of its nutrients. So I am going to be adding stuff to the soil. Right now I have like a stack of eggs that I just used this week, and I'm drying those out, and then I'm going to blend those down. They're going to go into the garden. Same with my compost. All of my chicken compost that's been overwintered is going straight into the beds. I would not say that I am a master gardener on any level. I am a chaotic gardener. I guarantee my grandma and my grandpa would be rolling around in their grave right now if they saw the way I garden, because their garden was the most pristine, beautiful thing I have ever seen in the entire world. Like, they would have the perfect row of cherry tomatoes where you could pick from both sides. And then their beef steak tomatoes. Perfectly propped up. Then they would go on to their Romas. Oh, beautiful, gorgeous. Then their corn. Oh, gorgeous. Perfect layers between the rows. And then their basil, and then their lettuce, and their brassicas. And it was the most beautiful, organized thing I've ever seen in my life. Then they had me. And they're probably very upset with that. They're probably rolling in their graves because they're like, did she just throw all the basil, the tomatoes, and onions, and everything's all in the same bed? She's just rolling with it. And I would probably say yes. But I've had extreme success rates. And I like to go into a season of anything that's a profit from it is a success. So we planted those 15 potatoes. If I get 17, that's successful in my eyes, because I only started with 15. Then I can take those the next 17 and use those as seed potatoes if I want. I always try to at least gain. So if I only got 1 tomato plant and I get 1 tomato, success. It was 1 seed. Now my goal is to overly abundance. So I do like to choke my plants out. Once I start developing, I'll teach you guys all of that with the chaos gardening. Hopefully you'll like it. If you don't, let me know. Hi, Brittany. Your grams took one? Oh, that's amazing. She took a master gardener class. Tips on how to stock up on meds with insurance. Oh, that one's a hard one. You can request with your doctor for a 30 or an extra like 60-day supply. Oh, that one's hard. I'm not quite sure on that. Jace is what I use for antibiotics and other medications, but it's a little bit harder with urology. Welcome in, South Florida. How are you? Sterilize all the tools, the tweezers, the pots. 3 weeks ago, nothing came up. She was pretty upset, and we had snow, and that's that. Oh, jeez. I've had some successes this year on just my table over here. I did a lot more experimenting than I did on the plants that I knew that I could grow successfully. I wanted to see if things were going to transplant well or if they were going to start losing size. I was just kind of messing around. And I think I overly did it. Now, do I have some really amazing, successful plants over there? Yeah. As many as I normally do? No, because I was experimenting more. Sometimes I got to know when to set the seeds down. Now, I do have a very honest review on this thing. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on TikTok Shop. Its germination rate is not that great. I will tell you that. I love the idea of the case. Love the idea of the containers inside. But the germination rate was awful on some of them. They didn't do so well. The marigolds, bunk. They don't work. Same with, how do I say that word? The nasturtiums, that edible flower. I can't ever say that word. You're having trouble with, sorry if my finger gets in front of the camera. We tried garden this year, and so far the only thing we are having trouble with is squash. Where are you from? And where are you planting your squash? Yeah, Lord, I'll grab some of the starters. Yeah, Jordan, the germination rate, not good. Now, the starters I'm going to show that are not from there, yeah, they're fantastic. I'm only going to grab a couple out. We'll just grab a few. So, he's doing all right. Need a little bit more light. I kind of retracted their light a little bit because I was messing around and I forgot. And she walks away. Oh gosh, what did I do? Wait, what did I do? Hey Ed, welcome in. You posted for me? I am looking up. It's not showing me anything. You posted? What do you, I'm gonna see what I can see. I think I can do a green screen. Oh, I'm doing highlights. Oh no, make it stop. I don't know how to do a green screen on here. Thank you so much for the new members. Can somebody relay in the chat because it's not showing me anything? You love them, Daisy. Yeah, the seeds that came in there, they did not germinate. I can't see. I am looking up. Is it because I'm on my phone? Let me pull the live up on my computer. You know, I just need to take everything over to my computer. I need to do that. I just haven't reset up my streaming stuff here. Okay, let's see. Now I see more in the chat. Thank you so much, Strong Eyes. Oh my gosh, 1, 2. Holy cow, thank you. Strong Eyes has like been adding members to here and it's absolutely amazing. Thank Thank you. I have it now pulled up on my laptop too so that I can see. You're planting extra broccoli this year. That's what I'm doing, is extra broccoli. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Who is it? You're doing a chore. It may be a setting on your phone to members first. I don't know. I don't know half the time on here. I just need to move. I'll move the laptop underneath so then I can see it better. Onions, brassicas, potatoes. Potatoes are a big one for me this year because we have the extra property. The reason why is potatoes, similar to rice, will last you and your family a very long time. They're great. That's a great filler. You got your broccolis, you got all your other food. This year is the year you're going to want to grow as much as possible. The topics are all over the place. Right now we're talking about victory gardens. I'm going to just move the chat right there. Ha! So now I have the chat set up where I can see it just a little bit better. Broccoli is the one thing you wish you had a freeze dryer for? Yes. If you do freeze dry wholesales, like wholesalers, they do 15% off with my promo code. It is Charmingly Frugal. Gets you 15% off everything on there. And their freeze dried broccoli, I can show you it. Where did I move it to? It's one of my absolute favorites. I think I've gone through 4 bags. 4 bags of this one. This is phenomenal. I use this out in the field all the time. This is my favorite one to take with me. So 4 bags. Perfection, perfection. Do some brassicas. If you have shade and some romaine. Where you're at, Aubrey, because I know where you're from, those are going to grow really well for you. So buy one, get one, combined with 20%. Yeah, so my code works for 15% off the entire company, like everything. So there's no minimum. If you choose to only do 1 bag, you can get 15% off the bag. There's no minimum with my code. He gives me a really nice code for you guys. I believe it's 15 or 20%. Don't quote me. I know it's 15 for sure. When you have a sec, I have a canning question. Go for it, Ed. What's your canning question? Short form or long-term videos, your favorite mason jar recipe? I'll do long-term on it just because I've done short-term. So Tyler, on my TikTok, I've done a ton of canning content short-term, and there's just so many questions left at the end of every video. And then they get like buried back. So I will definitely be doing long-term content on it. Any product ideas to keep snakes away from property? A shovel. It costs you a fortune. It cost me a fortune too. I just unboxed 2 boxes. So I buy my own stuff. And so when I did that Korean Broadcasting Network video, like news, he was trying to send me a box to like kind of stack the shelves up so they were brighter blue. And I was like, I'll just bust into my reserves. And he started laughing. He's like, you can't have that much. And I was like, I buy my own off of it because there's some stuff, like I have my freeze dryer and I love my freeze dryer and it's running quite often. There's just some stuff I don't want to freeze dry. Where I'm like, ugh, like tomatoes. No, I'll buy all the tomatoes he puts out. Asparagus, start now. Get your asparagus roots in the ground now because they take years. Yeah, it takes 3 years. Yep, what Chrissy just said. Sorry, sometimes it lags a little bit. My wife are not canning regular mouth, wide mouth jars. Is there a preference? Okay, let me grab jars and go over that with you, Ed. Great question. So let's go over wide mouth versus regular, okay? So we're gonna grab a couple. Couple extras. Okay, that one's a meatloaf. What's another one that I like to use a wide with? Pickles. Okay, we got 4 jars, and we have 3 that are wide mouth and 1 that is regular. So this is pineapples. Pineapples, I do these ones in a regular because I can pour them in, and when I open it, I'm pretty much just pouring it out. I'm not worried about these getting stuck inside. I love them in general. Now my wide mouth, this one, Holy Grail right here. These are really hard to find, so if you find these ones, buy them. Okay? Buy them. I just trust me on this. Trust me on this. If you find these bad boys right here, these bad boys, buy them. They're the Holy Grail. These ones are always sold out and they're really hard to get on. So this is pickled asparagus. I'm using a wide mouth because when I open it, I'm going to pull it out. And yes, this one's from 2021 and I will still eat it. Still eat it. Joey just dropped in the Discord. The Discord is a place we have. It's a free prepper forum that has so much information, so many recipes, so much in there. Definitely join. Now, this one, wide mouth, pickles. Once again, I'm reaching inside the jar. I want to have easier access. Now, meatloaf. Somebody just asked, you can meatloaf? Yes, I do. It's a Rebel can. That is fat. Fat is good for your body. I don't care what anyone says. Ain't nobody want something that doesn't have some fat in it, okay? It's good, okay? But the reason I have it in wide mouth is when you open it, yes, it will come down like it's slowly moving, but sometimes I'll just take a little knife to pull it out. And I don't want it to get warped going through a small little regular lid. Hopefully that helps. Why does it say I have a shopping cart? So when you're looking at estate sales and stuff, you're going to want to run your fingers around the rims, feel for chips, dips, divots, any of those when you're buying used jars. Ooh. Can you do a quick rundown of recipe and canning info for meatloaf? Oh gosh, it's on Discord. Join the Discord. The recipe's in there. So it's a pressure can. I don't remember how much is in it. It's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat. Diced up onions. Did I do peppers in it? I can't remember. And because it's a Rebel can, it has an egg in it. Make sauerkraut. I do make sauerkraut. I haven't last year, Dennis, but I will probably be making it this year. Everybody in here, my moderators, they'll drop you a link. It's to the Discord. It's completely free prepper forum. We have like 1,200 members in there. It's full of canning recipes, gardening. There's one-on-one help. There is a box that you can send in. It's like you start a ticket and I can help you more one-on-one. Sometimes I do get a little bit busy because I do run 2 different social medias. So sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, but I try my best to make sure that everybody gets answered to the best of my ability. But my moderators, they help so much with it. And all of my moderators are all really good preppers and they're all strong in different facets and the different avenues, and they work really hard on it. I love the meatloaf in a jar. Like, I was really skeptical about it, and then I tried one and I was like, oh, okay, this is really tasty. But they're almost the same price as brand new, so you just bought the new jars. How do I feel about vacuum sealing jars? I absolutely hate it, Madeline. I hate to put that out there, but there's a bunch of these Chinese corporations that really push those vacuum sealers. They're great for dry goods. Great. But they gave it to a bunch of TikTok. Hey, excuse me, ma'am. I have a chicken that just escaped. I told you I live in a barn right now. Excuse me, ma'am. I know you see me. She's looking straight at me. They gave it to a bunch of TikTok creators, and those creators produced videos showing people vacuum sealing cans like this. Do not do it. Do not do it. You can use the vacuum sealers for your spices. You can use them for your dry goods. I am going to warn you, they will pop sooner or later. I have some jars that they have popped, and it's like dehydrated morel mushrooms, a few others, like mainly dehydrated spices. So I say the vacuum seal ones are not, they're not a great way. Just for the fact that I've had so many lids pop in vacuum sealed jars. Yeah. Like I'll do seeds from gardens. Yes. I'll do dehydrated herbs, just seasonings. I've done some sugar, but those popped. I did a test on it. I had 5 quart-sized jars filled with sugar, and I used the vacuum sealer. Oh my gosh. What are you doing, ma'am? Are you inside the feedback? That was a little much, don't you think? All right, piggies. You have food, now you have more. She just jumped inside the feed bag. The chicken just went inside the feed bag. I knew I heard it. So when I did about 4 or 5, Chrissy might remember this. This was probably 2021, maybe 2020. But I did a bunch of quart-size sugars, and I vacuum sealed them. And then I left them in my pantry, I want to say a year and a half. All the seals were completely popped. Every single seal was popped. I do not think it's a great long-term storage. I think it's something you have to watch. And I don't have time to watch that. Deplorable garbage. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, with vacuum sealing and using food like this, no, don't ever do it. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm here, Matt. I promise, I'm here. I prefer, so a lot of people will come to me and go, I love to store my flour and my sugar and all those things in my mason jars. I don't. And I speak very honestly about it. Sure, it may be aesthetically pleasing, but those jars can be used for so much more that can't be Mylar. So anything that's like a dry ingredient, I prefer to Mylar. Short-term grains in a vacuum sealed and jar. See, and that makes sense, Daisy. I don't know if I would say that, deplorable. Awkward as always. You got into dehydrating powder such, but you've never tried canning? Dennis, you should definitely dabble in canning. Once you start canning, you'll never go back. It's like the drug. It's an addiction. It's one of my favorites. It does take energy, but I think it's well worth it. I think it's very well worth it. You want that at the end of the day. You definitely want a way. For me, if the power went out, the grid went down. We were just talking about the grid went down. I just posted a video on it. We were talking about light discipline. But when you take the grid going down and let's say chaos ensues, right? I mean, we had Audie Q in here. She's from Spain. We had others from Portugal in the chat this morning on TikTok. And the first thing was cash is king, which we all know this. And I say it in like on TikTok, people get really mad when I talk about cash. They'll go, nobody's going to accept cash. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. They'll jack that price up. If it was $10, you may pay $20 for it, but they'll take it. They'll take that cash until they know that nothing is going to be good enough. You need to grow enough first. You can go to farmers markets and get food to can. That's the other food. If I am not successful on a grow, I'll go to the farmer's market. Cash, small bills. Yep. You want a lot of small bills. And I've seen it. I've seen it with power outages. I worked retail for a long time, and yeah, we had a backup generator, but like the card systems were down and cash was king. It definitely did take it to a different level. Yes, deplorable garbage. I have 6 chicks over there. They are about ready to go to a coop. So I got to get an order in on a coop. I don't know if I'm going to have time to build one, but I am building a duck house myself. I'm going to need much larger coop than normal. I don't ask me what kinds of chickens I got. I literally bought everything I could get my hands on. I think there's like a purchase thing down by the chat. You do show support or you purchase. I don't know how to do the purchase a membership. If you live in an area that has an actual Amish and Mennonite market, go there. Yes. Yep. If you live in Utah, go to the LDS stores. They're very similar to the Amish markets. You can get a lot of food that's freeze dried and ready to be preserved through the LDS church. I wish we had more Amish here. There is one Amish store in Utah, and somebody had just sent me a video on it, and I was like, I am so going there. I hear the ducks. Do you guys hear my birds, my ducks? You had a contractor sever the line for the internet, phone. Our country still had, or our county still had electricity. Had to use cash to buy groceries and had no communications. Once again, radios, ham radios, small bills. These are so simple. So simple. I need a bigger, Gigi, I need a way bigger coop. My coop was temporary. Tree! Thank you so much for the gift. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, thank you. Oh my gosh. You have an LDS store about 45 minutes away, but you've never been. You should do it. They have freeze-dried food. They have all kinds of stuff at the LDS stores. Yeah, they do. They do a mail order. Yeah. So the LDS church preaches food storage. I think that's the term they use. Food storage. Enough for your family. You just ordered an Amish Ways book. Ooh, I need to get that book. Their hot chocolate is amazing. Yeah. But they really preach that. And that is something that my family, because my family was LDS, and they followed what the church said, and they did that. But they also did that prior to it because they came here a very long time ago and never left. Please don't hate me. I did not do it. Okay. Yep. It's like 1 year of food storage. Yep. That's what I said. Right now I'm pushing towards 5 years. Like 1 year is pretty normal. And it's kind of crazy when camera crews come here for like just the rotational pantry that is behind me, because in Utah, almost everybody has some sort of food storage. Like this is not uncommon, but outside of this state, people are like, what? Like I have like news people come and they'll fly in and they'll get into the Salt Lake airport and then they'll come out here and they're like, this is incredible. And I'm like, no, you should see my rich friends. They have like a roller can system that's like $5,000. It's pretty cool. Like I feel like mine is more organized because I use mine more often. Theirs is designed that they use it if there was impendable doom or something was to happen, and that's the only time they touch it. They don't really use it as a rotational pantry. You love hot chocolate? Let's go. I don't want to live in her basement, but I would like to spend a week with me to get some serious learning on. I'm hoping to actually go and teach this summer and go out to some locations and help really break things down. I'm trying to dabble in some other things because I feel like this is a very important thing that we could all do, right? Prepping is not impossible for anyone. Right now on TikTok, the hottest topic of them all, I'm going to pick your guys' brains. There's 70 of you guys in here. Let's have the conversation. People get very, very triggered on my videos when I say you're not too poor to prep. How do you guys feel about that subject? You're not too poor to prep, and stop with the excuses. And I have been calling people very spoiled and entitled lately because on a regular basis, I will get a comment that's like, no, I'm too poor to prep. I can't do this. Most preppers have gone through some significant trauma, like from what I'm gathering. Like I went through comment section after comment sections over these. A lot of people went through some sort of financial hardship, food hardship, any kind of hardship. And instead of going straight into victimhood and being like, I can't do this, this is too much, y'all got grit. Every single one of you guys, from a prepping standpoint, have grit. You have incredible grit. That not many people understand what the word grit means. Some people are more self-sustaining and some people are more resilient. But when you combine so many factors together, you get grit. Those are the people who are going to knuckle down and they're going to do so much to prep frugally. Yeah. Hi, Marianne. Welcome in. Anyone can prep. Yep. JCJ. Yep. Anyone can prep on a budget. Exactly. I need help organizing. You have more cases of food and nook and cranny of your house. I love that, Grace. I kind of got yelled at because people don't like that there's a gap in my shelves. Skip McDonald's, skip Starbucks. Actually, currently with this economy, none of y'all should be eating out. I have even I get tired. Like, I got 3 kids that are very active in sports and I am constantly in my car. And after I'm dropping them off at one practice to another, and I'll realize that I'm like, dude, I haven't ate in since dinner last night, the day before. I really need to go and get something to eat. And I'm like, argh! And I'll make myself drive home and I'll start cooking something. Because right now, I know that those cargo ships are off the ports and they're not coming in. And I know there's going to be shortages and I know I need to pick up a little bit more slack. Because remember, I don't just prep for my family of 5. I prep for 7 people for 5 years. Okay, 7. And I even prep for more than that. But I have to do so much. And so I know that if they're prepping for me in different ways, I am going to return that same favor. I'm trying to go back through the comments. I have my laptop open so I can see them just a little bit better. I don't know why the internet's being so silly. I might have to go up here. I don't have money to prep. Even the poorest people can prep. Exactly. More to pioneering than prepping. That's fine, Dennis. They're all pretty interlinked. So the thing is in the pioneers days, the government had a lot less threshold. If you look at it in the pioneering days, the government had a lot less reach, correct? It was kind of the last frontier. Law and order was not very well established. The rule of law, the starting from scratch and establishing something. And once something does actually happen, we will be back to those days again, because it will be from the scratch. No hair, no nail salon. Oh yeah, I don't get my nails done. I have dirt under my nails because I'm in the garden so much. You can just call me Dirty Hands. U.S. is already a short harbors or empty. Yep. China docks. Yep. And they're not going to go anywhere, JCG. Exactly. I prep with no job for 6 months, no nails, no pedicures, no hairstyle. Yep. Thrift stores, buying secondhand, like all these things, they're so valuable. And the way that things are going, I mean, we can't afford not to be prepared. Our government makes stupid decisions. We got, port issues. And I'm not even going to put it on one president, okay? I will be the first person to tell you, I think the last 30 years have been bullshit. At least 30. I'd say 25. 25, I've been pretty extreme about it. Last 25 years, we have been set up for nothing but another recession, another crash. We're way, 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 way overdue for a depression. You have a pandemic. We were overdue for a pandemic. Just got that one. So the next one will be worse. Stock market crash, like full on crash. Yeah, people are playing with fucking billions of dollars. Excuse my language. Billions of dollars of invisible money. Ooh, 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 ooh. I just got a question. My husband just asked. Is it a treat day? Prepping is definitely a way of life. So think about it, right? Let's think about it. How much did a loaf of bread cost before the pandemic? Let's talk 2019. Let's dabble into it. I love when we have a good conversation, a very in-depth conversation. Let's say loaf of bread 2019. A loaf of bread, let's see. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, prices of bread are 138.53% higher in 2025 than to 1997. I ain't doing the math there, but we're almost at 30 years. Like I said, the last 25 years has been kind of some bullshit. Okay? I'm blunt, I'm rude, I'm a little crude, okay? Data ranges $1.13 to now $6. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, I got banned on multiple apps and censored because I talked about the cost of inflation before people were using the word inflation, and they deemed it as misinformation. And I just generally said 4 years ago, I was like, this price has gone up 35%. This is a little petrifying, because you got to think, if the price goes up 35% in a year time frame, what's going to happen 5 years down the line? You just bought a bread machine? Exactly. Just become our 51st state and your economy will get better. Wait, who are you talking to? I mean, the offer's always open. My heart hurts for Canada right now. There's a possibility that they will lose what little gun security that they have. Like, that right there, I'm sorry, I will tell you straight up. I am a gun enthusiast. Honest to God, I probably can't name you half the guns I own. I buy them. I like them. I buy them. Some of them are more of my favorites to take out shooting, and some of them are not. But I love guns. And hearing that they might be restricted even of hunting rights makes me really frustrated. Matt, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, thank you. I feel really bad for Canada. Don't anybody make any political jokes or, go after them. Like, guys, I'm telling you right now, once they take a right away, you'll never see it again. We saw that. We saw that with Australia. Australia gave up their rights and boom. A lot of my followers are from Australia and they are so frustrated because those rights were taken and then they were gone and they'll never get them back. LKM, yes. Did you see that there's an underground cache through Atlas bunkers? I'm actually wanting one on the property before we pour foundation. I feel really bad. And when it comes to our rights to bear arms, I don't care who is in charge. I don't care what politicians. I'm pretty equal across the board. But if somebody is talking about taking away that right, I am telling you right now, I will fight to the end on that. Because once they take it away, you'll never get it back, which a lot of people don't know. And it starts with gun reform. It starts right off. Matt's the next one to be subscribed. Oh, you're so nice. Things are getting very socialistic. Decades. Yeah, it's been decades. So JCG, you bring up some really good points. Because most of the time when I'm talking about stuff, they think it's like the last 2 years or the last year, or I'll bring up something and I'm like, the supply chain, and they're like, it's because Trump just got in office. I'm like, no. Like, there is supply issues. Our system has been crumbled for over 6 years. At any point, any president could have stepped in and said, nope, we're not going to overcharge on this. Nope, yep, there's going to be some problems. We're not going to do that. They could have put in anything in order to slow down. They did not care about citizens. So I will speak very loudly about it. Fava beans. Every time I hear the word fava beans, I always think of Hannibal Lecter. Some nice fava beans. When he's like talking about wanting to eat claries. Just vote for me in 2028. We'll give everybody their rights back. Not communist, although socialist. There is a difference. True. True, true. One thing with us, we're very socialist and been for decades. Yeah, they do. They really do. NS Prepper, I am feeling for you guys. Like, I was just talking about that. My heart hurts. My heart hurts for Canada. The movie that was filmed in Canada, Backcountry, should be enough room for them to have some right to protect themselves. If you don't know that they had a youngling bear go completely ape crap crazy and kill people. You're only allowed a slingshot or a single shot. I thought it said slingshot. You want to become the 51st state? I know that sounds really morbid right now, but you can be part of Utah. We'll accept you. We'll accept you. I don't know about the rest of the country. I don't care. Man. Ooh. And I didn't mean that in like a mean way. Is there any mods in here? Strong Eyes wondering. I don't know if there is. Sometimes they're in here, sometimes they're not. Here is pretty chill, so they don't have to super monitor it like TikTok. TikTok gets like a wildness. LKMs. Oh. Help Matt. See, there is lots of mods in here. They just probably didn't see the chat because sometimes they're just listening and that's pretty normal. They normally only listen for me to like scream help when I'm like, ah. LKM says, yes, I do. Come get us. I'm done. It's fine. We'll just say, you're Canada. You're still Canada. Okay. Don't take my joke too literal in a very toxic way. You're Canada. You're just now sisters with Utah. Cool? Or brothers. It doesn't matter gender. Either one. Would you guys be open to that? Because what they're talking about for you guys, it makes my gut wrench because I'm going to be very honest with you. I carry every single day. Every single day. I rotate which one is my favorite of the week. It's like flavor of the week. Can't keep my gun boyfriends the same. I can't even imagine that. Where you live, you look out the window and across there is the state line. So Cache right on the state line. Huh? Maybe we find a group of you to pull some money together and you just buy like a little plot right at the edge of the state line. I don't know, man. Do I name them? Only my favorites. Same with my Jeep. I named that one too. Matt, don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. I don't know how to work YouTube very well. So I'm a full-time live streamer on TikTok. That I can do anything you want. Like I'll be like, oh, I can open this up. Here, I have no idea. I have to call my mods in. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You guys need to look through the settings. I have no idea. I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with YouTube lives. The last time we did a YouTube live, things got a little rodeo in here. We never had, yeah, your culture is different. I agree with that, Dennis. And it's not a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing. I definitely wouldn't talk bad on it. I just believe in the right to protect yourself. I try to instill that in every single person. They did this with Australia. Australia can't even have certain knives now, and they have people getting attacked all the time. We've talked about the crime. Just because you take away one form doesn't mean that there won't be another form, unfortunately. And it is something I very firmly believe in because I've been in situations where it probably would not have turned out for the best if I did not carry. 3 dogs and a paw. I'm from Wyoming. Everyone carry. Exactly. Like I carry everywhere I've been. Like I have family that's in Wyoming. Wyoming is beautiful. Montana is gorgeous. Love those areas. Love Utah. But I lived in Oregon for about 10 years. 10 years. Just finished up high school. I call it my home. I love it there. But they started to change a lot of their gun laws, and I will never return to Oregon because of that. And I lived in Washington. I went to college in Washington. They started to change those. My in-laws are from Washington, and they always ask me and my husband and our family, when are you going to move back here? We will never move back there because of how restrictive they're getting. Once things get restricted, they will tend to get more and more and more restrictive. And I'm not giving up my magazines. I'm not giving that up. And so unfortunately, some of our family gets really mad at us and they are frustrated, but in our eyes, that's something very important to my family, is the right to bear arms, the right to carry. Not everybody's going to agree with it. Some people think that that's more scary, but when I was stationed at Fort Lewis, we were all at lunch, okay? We all went to lunch and we went to the mall. Half of our unit went to the mall. And we were all in uniform. We can't carry with uniform. Off post, obviously. And on post, you're not supposed to carry. Certain people can. Some of my friends have literally gone and reclassed to MPs so that they can get a constitutional carry throughout all 50 states. But we were all out at lunch. I had just left. It was me, a couple other of my battles, and we were going to go through the coffee line, and we were heading back to post. And I worked there full time. And all of a sudden, in the radio, that there was a mall shooting. And the only thing that stopped it was somebody carrying. But people forget to mention those things in the stories. When they talk about things, there's the tragedy and all the other things, but there has been so many times in our history where a tragedy has been stopped because somebody else. You have good guys with guns. Bad guys get away with a lot less. Especially good guys with guns who practice and train. I will never encourage anyone to carry if they're not willing to go out and train. You got to make your choices. So I'm going to sit crisscross applesauce for us. Ooh, that's amazing, Gigi. That's amazing. You live in Detroit. Everybody has a gun. Even the kids that not even joke. Pretty sad. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry, deplorable. I think the divide ought to be military. Ranchers, hunters have no use. They're fun. And you're not really buying Tommy guns. Okay? First of all, there is mechanisms that prevent your guns from shooting on full auto. Okay? I just need that to be known. I own like 8 ARs right over there. None of them are full auto. Okay? They cannot go to full auto the same way as my M4 while I was overseas. They can go into a burst, absolutely. But it does depend on your trigger finger. Ain't none of us out here being able to go in and buy a 50 cal or a 240. I mean, some can, but you got to go through a lot of things to get those. Now I do like flamethrowers. That is a new area, okay? Won't lie. But if they told me I couldn't have those guns, now that I'm not in the military, I would leave to somewhere I could. Like I won't lie to you guys on this. I'm very open about that. You should trust your veterans a lot more than you trust some civilians. Just to tell you. And if we disconnect from service and they tried to take that, like that just seems like a weird line. And then you got people who like disconnect from service and they got like an other than honorable discharge or a dishonorable discharge. There's so many things you'd have to worry about there because you have to just depend on paperwork, and not all military is good, not all military is bad. I'm reading all the comments, sorry. I have them blown up right below the screen because over here they kind of disappear. Let's go, Little Red. But it's a hard one. I mean, and not everyone's going to agree. And Dennis, you can totally feel a different way. And I totally understand that feeling of that way. But I think that farmers and ranchers should be able to have hunting rifles. 100%. Shotguns, 100%. Handguns, 100%. I can't tell you how many coyotes I have killed going towards our animals on our property when I was in high school with a handgun. Literally walking to the garage and watching a coyote trying to break into the chicken coop, and I knew there was a gun inside the garage and I pulled it, shot it. There's a lot of things we have to look at. Because then there's so much fake media out there. They'll be like, well, this magazine. I'm like, you realize that that's a single click trigger, right? It's with every pull. But the government will say something like, it auto feeds or auto rapid feeds. I'm like, okay. Trap shoot games. Yes. It's definitely a way of life, and not everybody will always understand that. Not everybody will always understand why I carry so much in my car when I like go out to the property, but until you have a mountain lion trying to creep up on you, I don't know. I don't know. And my kids are raised around guns and they don't think guns are toys on any level. They do not think guns are toys whatsoever. Aubrey, welcome in to Doomsday 1. Aubrey got a membership. Let's go. That's amazing. It's definitely a way of life, and I feel like not everyone will understand that. I have a lot of friends that are from the UK, and they'll always make the jokes like, you gun-toting wild, wild west. And it's funny, and I'm like, I get it. Like, I get it. But from a prepper standpoint, I think it's very important for you guys to be able to protect what you have. Because what would happen? Somebody comes in and goes, I want everything you have. A knife would make you get up really close and personal with someone. Not everyone can handle that. At the rate we're going, we're going to have to become ninjas. All right, what JCG said, everyone from Canada, you're going to all become ninjas. Aubrey needs to help Matt. Tremors, I love the movie Tremors. I love the movie Tremors. Yeah, join the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, Discord's completely free. I can open it up so you guys can kind of see it a little bit better. Let's just hope that I'm logged in. Of course, I'm not logged in. Okay, I'll have to open it a different time. But the Discord is amazing. There's so many channels. Joey in here, he's like the VP. He helped create that. He literally stayed up on the phone with me. I like woke up and it was in the middle of the journey of me growing my social media. I was like, things were growing so fast. And I was like, I want to do something different. And he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to create a forum. Do you think we could make a Discord where preppers can actually conversate with each other? They're not being restricted. Freedom of speech isn't taken away. And we can start dropping recipes and stuff like that, because I post videos and TikTok would just push them away. Like, yeah, they'd go viral, but then you'd have to search it or save it or download that video. And we were trying to come up with it. And he just went with my crazy ADHD brain waves of me just what I wanted in it. And he threw it all together and created it. So he is the creator of the Discord. He created all of it. He just went off of my very random thoughts of, we should try this. We should try this. And it is phenomenal. It is an amazing resource out there. There is so much information. You can't get through all the tabs. Like, there's so much information. There's so many recipes. There's so many things that are all compiled in it. And you don't have to be social on there. You can just go through and print stuff if you want. If you're like, oh, or, you know, thumbs up or anything like that. There's no money. There's no nothing. Oh gosh. Strong Eye's giving me the eye. What did I do wrong this time? Strong Eye's giving me a look. What did I do, Strong Eyes? Oh, Strong Eyes, we are making emotes. We are making emotes for here. I just have to learn how to upload them. I'm getting better. YouTube's just a new beast for me. I'm learning to tame it. Figure out how to help people. Strong Eye says, we need to figure out how to get Matt a membership. Hey, I got some good barbecue recipes too. So, yes. So, Tyler, I moved a ton going this direction. But the problem is when I download those videos, it makes my mouth do the weird wax on, wax off. It looks like a really bad ninja movie. My voice doesn't match up with the words. And so I'm probably going to recan probably hundreds of recipes for you guys on here. Hundreds. I told my family they better get eating because I need like at least half of those jars moved for me to get through that. Yeah, it's a little rough. And Tyler, don't worry about getting a TikTok. TikTok's going away. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I started building over here is I was like, I'm just done with TikTok. I'm done with the toxicity. They won't ever let me leave out of the frugal prepping. They won't allow me to explore other things, and they get mad at me if I suggest something that costs a little bit more, but it's like 10 times better. Is it better to freeze dry uncooked eggs or cooked eggs? I've done both. I am not a pro, but both are amazing. So 2 different uses. Raw eggs, you can mix those up and then cook them or use them to bake or different recipes. The cooked ones, add peppers to them, add all kinds of stuff. You can get yourself a nice little skillet breakfast. I like to make my own MREs. Do you want me to grab you an MRE so you guys can see it? I'm not going to open it, but I'll show it. Do I have a public email account for information? I could make one. I probably should make one, huh, Tom? That's a good point. I kind of do slack on the communication. Please, the MRE. Yes. Give me a second. Let's move some totes. I have to figure out which tote it is. Wait, one. Oh my god, this one's heavy. Oh my god. Okay. I'm trying to get a promo code with this guy that does these, the top Mylar, because I probably would sell them out on everything they own. But these are just some MREs I've created myself. They come in a MRE style bag. I do a double serving size bag. Okay, so this one is spaghetti. I did this one on November 5th, 2024. And then this one, it's a beans and rice freeze-dried meal. So the beans, the rice are already pre-cooked. So all they have to do is absorb the water. I don't have to soak the beans. I don't have to cook the rice. It's all been pre-cooked. So all on these, all I have to do is just add boiling water. And the bags are designed to have that in there. And so when I pack these up, so I go do a lot of hunting. And when I go hunting, I like to pack my own MREs. And I love Mountain House. Those are always really great meals, ready to eat. All you need to do is add water. So when I'm taking my pack out and I know I'm going to be out all day, I'm going to take this. I know I can boil water really quick, or I'll add cold water. It doesn't matter. When eating food, food is food. Tom, let me create like a general open one. If you join the Discord, you can share, you can open a ticket there. It's kind of similar to email, and I can see all the tickets. You have a surplus of eggs. I would do a whole 5 sheets. I don't know if you have a medium, small, or a large. I would do all 5 sheets on raw. And then I would do ones that are cooked up. And make yourself your own skillet ones. But I get these at topmylar.com. There's some random guy on YouTube, and he has a promo code, and it's called Bibs, and it gets you a little discount. I'm trying to get my own discount for you guys because I buy these like crazy. They're my favorite because they're so thick. I don't worry about punctures. They're amazing. LKM just received a membership from Misty. Let's go. You guys are absolutely amazing. And we have such a strong, amazing, caring crew that just really lives. Yeah, I don't even know who the YouTuber is that has that account. Just Cast Iron, one of our friends who also uses a freeze dryer. He found that promo code and we've been using it. I've reached out to Top Mylar to see if we can get our own promo code. Because whoever this random person on TikTok is, they're making some ton of commission off of me. I'm like repping somebody who I don't even know, but he's a freeze dryer on YouTube. So let's go. He's probably like didn't produce a video in like months, and he's like, how am I still getting revenue? Oh, there's just some crazy like lady on TikTok. And Misty Lee, welcome in with the membership. Let's go. Have a question. What are your laws like for ham radios and GMRs? So you do not need a license for GMRs. GMRs are completely easy to use. Ham radios, you are supposed to get a license here, especially in my state, you're supposed to. However, my state does have like a little bill put in. We're allowed to use ham radios when we're out up in the mountains. So use for emergencies, and outdoors, they do allow it here in the Rockies because there is hikers that go lost, stuff like that. Where, I mean, we've used ham radios. Now, my husband's license, I let my license overlap, so I need to get relicensed. But sometimes ham radios save lives. Whoever Bibs is, they could retire with the commission, right, Billy D? That's how I feel. I'm like, dude, I have bought literally probably $1,000 with that code, easily. The membership, I don't really understand it, Gigi. I'm learning. This is only like my first like 4 months on YouTube, like dedicated 4 months. Ooh. Even GMRs? So like for my birthday this year, my husband got me a new GMR, like CB style kind of radio just for the side-by-side, because we already have a radio in there, but another one, a GMR. And I got 2 new GMRs, and they're smaller. They clip on me because I do go hiking, and I go pretty far out. It has a pretty decent range. It's a Midland. But the part I love is that it does have like a little earpiece, and it's soft. It doesn't rip my ears. It doesn't hurt me. But it's John Bibbs. He does amazing freeze dry milk. Okay, then yes, let's go, Misty. Okay, now we know who it is. I'm like, whoever it is, we are literally selling him so much. But I'm all for it. Like, I was like, I don't even know who it is, but I support him. but it's like a little earpiece, and it works really well when I'm hiking because I can just drape it and it attaches to my pack and I'm good. So my husband's like, come back home, stop living in the woods. Good point you made in your last line. If you're on a radio, you can be tracked and located. Yeah, 100%. And a lot of people get really hung up on the idea. I don't know. I feel like radios are the, can I say this word on YouTube? Fetish of the prepper community. Like people just, radios. And I'm like, radios could get you killed. They could. They potentially could. He does the great loaded nachos. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, I know who it is then. Hello from Alberta. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, then I don't feel bad giving out his code because it works really well. But Bibs. Oh, can't say that word. Oh, no. Can I redact that? I don't think I can. Obsession? Obsession? Obsession. Obsession. I said obsession. I said the wrong word. YouTube, please don't ban me. I've only been here for a little while. Jessica says, you're fine now. I'm now a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. Hello, Brandon from British Columbia. Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, that probably got me in trouble, huh? I'm going to get in trouble. Don't worry, you're good. I won't say that one. I won't say that one. TikTok, I would have been banned by now. I will tell you that. I would be on a 7-day timeout. I wish there was a cheap satellite. Yeah. You heard nothing. You saw nothing. Please don't report. Can you tell me what's the name of the blue bags? Yeah, Freeze Dry Wholesalers. FreezeDryWholesalers.com. Use the code CharminglyFrugal. Save you a ton of money. They're my favorite. All the things that I don't want to freeze dry myself, or I know I'm most likely going to mess them up myself. This one right here. Which one, Matt? Because I said the other one that's similar to obsession, but probably down a different path. Yep. Have you guys watched the new video today about light discipline? I feel like that's a subject that hasn't been really talked about. Yeah, but that's him. I'm sure he could say probably anything and be okay. See, on TikTok, while I was building my TikTok, because I was considered in the top 100 live creators in all North America. And I got to do some really fun, amazing things. Once I hit that status, once I was like constantly in like the top 20, top 50 in the country, I could pretty much do anything I wanted on TikTok. And I wasn't getting slapped with flags and those kind of things. Over here, I'm new. Hi, I'm the new girl in town. I have a feeling I could get slapped with things pretty quick. The discount code, Charmingly Frugal. Will one of my moderators write that in there? I mean, I think I can write it for myself. I don't know if it lets me type to myself on here. Oh, it allowed me to. YouTube runs fast and loose with vague rules for individual creators. Nice. Okay. That's going to be a little hard, though. That's going to be a little all over the place. I was referring to another word. Another word. It was probably one. Probably one that would get me in trouble. Just depending on the day of the week, probably. Okay. I'm sweating a little bit less. Get nervous. Like, I remember I took a 14-day ban because I said we were experiencing, we were talking about it earlier, experiencing high inflation, and this was in 2021, and I took a 14-day ban. 14 days. No, or 10. It was right in there. It was over a week, but under 2 weeks. So it was right there. They put me in timeout. They sat me in a corner and they said, do not speak to the public again for a minute. For blackout shades, perfect. Y'all didn't hear that, did you? You shouldn't have been here during all the, everyone was losing their channels. Oh, I almost lost my channel multiple times over that. I got a lot of different words and code words I use. You hear ducks? Yeah. I get very nervous on talking, like, and you can tell me if this is a no-go topic. I've been warned on this one, like herbalism. I won't even discuss that on my channel on TikTok. Hold on. That's safe. Yeah, I don't even dare dabble with it because, with rules of healthcare and medical and stuff like that, it's like you got to say you're not a doctor, you're not a this, you're not a that. It's a little nerve-wracking. A nice heavy rack for your birthday. Oh, he's finally coming around. That's nice. Those good prepper finds are amazing in relationships. Like, what's coming up? Mother's Day? Mother's Day. And my husband's looking at a new Benchmade knife. Now, I don't think he can replace my favorite knife. Okay, I have some favorites. You can't talk me off my ledge, okay? I know this. Ooh, is Citibank down? Let me look it up. Where'd you hear it? I'm looking. Page is down. Page is down. Citibank's page is down. It down. Once upon a tide. Hi from Puerto Rico. You found me through Canadian Prepper? That's amazing. He's awesome. How are prices where you are? We have eggs from the States at $9.90, $99 a dozen. So anybody in here that doesn't have chickens, how much are eggs costing you? I have chickens, so I don't buy eggs from the store. Water keys are phenomenal. I have water keys. Jeremiah. Jeremiah heard it. Jeremiah heard what I was talking about. Jeremiah heard nobody else in the chat was catching what was going on, but my face went, what is happening? What is happening? Jeremiah, are you one of my husband's soldiers? Let me go check. I gotta make sure there's proof of life. He's alive. It happened 10 hours ago. Wait, what happened 10 hours ago? It's warm here. Today was warm. You buy by the case. I have the hiccups. He's alive. He fell. That's what the cursing was in the background. So it's still down. I can't do that on live. They said that that's against the rules. I've looked. You paid $5.50 for 18 eggs. They were getting up there. Gives away their eggs and chicken eggs all the time. Exactly, Jeremiah. So for us, our neighbors, they get eggs all the time. With the cost of living, and all of them prep. Like, most of them are all LDS. They all have their own food storage. I mean, I share a neighbor behind me, a neighbor to the corner, and a neighbor to the side, okay? 2 of the neighbors all have freeze dryers and have their own food storage. 2 of them, I have helped install water storage. That's why I said, like, I don't worry about my neighbors. One of them stores up a little bit differently, but they don't have a freeze dryer, but they still store up. So I don't really worry about my neighbors. And then when our neighbors, like the ones that we're closest with, during the pandemic, they were starting to retire out. When the egg prices went up the first time, I mean, I just give them eggs all the time. And they have an extra freeze dryer, and they'll allow me to use their freeze dryer if mine doesn't have enough space, or if I'm filming. Cyber crash. Probably. Hi, Granny Jane. Welcome in. Welcome in. Matt says, I curse when I fall. Oh, yeah. No, he cursed. My window's open, and I was like, are you guys hearing what I'm here? I'm a little nervous. I wonder if he's okay. But I'm not sure what the cost of eggs is for everyone. So that is one of the reasons, like, I have 8 laying hens out there. I have 6 hens that I'm raising right here. And then I have 2 ducks. So currently right now that it's warm, I get about 7 eggs per day. That's because my silkies are worthless, okay? I have 1 silkie. She's absolutely worthless. She is literally she is my liability chicken. She lays an egg like once every 3 weeks. She don't pay her rent on time. Dragon Bird, thank you so much. She's my liability chicken. Now the other 7, they pay their rent on time, except for in the winter. But now having 7 more birds, I'm hoping that I'll have about 12 eggs, a dozen a day. And then with there. Oh my gosh, I keep her because she is a really good. So little red hen, you are 100% right. She is the most broody. She will not leave her 1 egg that she lays, okay? She has raised, there's 8 birds, 6 of them that are out there, and then the other 4 that died in the fall. So she's raised 10 to 12 chickens easily. Right now, I would have took those, I would have brought her in the house into the broody box with them, and she would have kept them warm, and I wouldn't have to worry or anything like that. And then once they start jumping around, they would all go out together, and she's pretty protective. But I didn't do that this time because she wasn't being broody. But silkies are amazing moms, and they will lay on an egg, they will stay there, and they will take care of chicks. But she is a liability chicken. She does not produce. She does not pay rent on time. She just the good baby mama. Eat the silky. There ain't no meat on her. She's little. They're so little. She's so little. She's half the size of my other chickens. She's the stay-at-home mom. She is. That is the best way to say it. She is the stay-at-home mom. How's your night going, Granny Jane? Yeah, she is the stay-at-home mom. She makes sure all the girls get it. Now, when I say she's the liability chicken, so with the liability chicken, let's talk about her flaws. She's cute as can be. She is cute as can be. She is adorable. She's sweet. My kids can carry her around everywhere. But if there is a snowstorm, that girl ain't going in the coop. I really think with her hair being so fluffy, she has no idea where she is. She has got zero recollection of what she is doing. And she will legit sit out. Like, I pulled her out of a snowstorm. She was in like over 24 inches of snow. I had to dig her out. And I was like, are you cold? And she was like, and I was like, do you have no will to live? Zero will to live. So if it starts raining, flash flooding, or snowing, I have to pick her up and escort her inside the coop, lock her up, and pray she does not escape out. She lacks a lot of common sense. Okay, Silkies, great mama birds, not the brightest crayon in the box. Not the brightest. Not on any level. She's sweet. But she a liability chicken, okay? She is not Chicken Little, like, the sky is falling, and runs away. Old Gravely, you had a power outage last night? What is up with all the power outages? You got Spain, Portugal, parts of France, and parts of Germany that were all touched on this. And then there's been so many power outages in the United States in different areas. Dumb like turkeys. I feel like my turkeys were like dogs. I could like call my turkeys and they would come to me. She ain't gonna come to me unless I got snacks. Test runs. Do you think they're gonna pin it on Russia? Okay, first of all, who do you think it is first? And then do you think they're gonna pin it on Russia? Russia's the perfect boogeyman, no matter what you think. What do you recommend for a safe bunker setup? I'm interested in knowing how people set up their rooms by zones. Okay, so this is definitely not a bunker. This is a basement. The room walls in here are actually concrete, which is nice. This wall right here is not, however. But that's concrete. That's concrete. The flaw is there is a window. But this is just my studio space. So what I have set up behind me is I have one rotational shelf. Once that shelf was filled, then I added another one. There's actually 3 now rotational shelves in here. Ooh, Karen thinks it was the USA. Oh, I agree. I agree on the C-19. Yeah. That's a possibility. That one crossed my mind. The whole China, that one's definitely crossed my mind. I want an Atlas bunker. Yeah. 100%. To fix notifications, unsubscribe and resubscribe. If you're a member, you won't lose your status. Okay. So if you're not getting notifications, unsubscribe and resubscribe. Huh. Didn't know that. Jessica, you are full of knowledge on YouTube. Full of knowledge. Oh, this is your first time being in here, Granny? Well, welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Hope. After the live, I'm going to go and rewatch from the beginning. I haven't been getting notifications. And you have the bell. Yeah, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Hey, I'll take it. Nice. You had a whole island outage. I think it's crazy with the amount of power outages. bless me, in 2025. 2025 has had a lot of power outages. A lot. Now, I think the only thing we're missing is we haven't had any train derailments, like crazy train derailments yet. We also haven't had any chemical plants burst this year. I mean, we only had a few in 2024, but you know, there's a few. Thank you so much for the blesses. Yeah, and if you join the Discord, Joey set up an amazing notification system because every time I got in trouble on TikTok, they would suppress my views and they wouldn't allow any notifications to go out. So Joey created some bots that are on Discord. So if you sign up for Discord, you can mute the other channels. So because if people are talking, you don't want to get notifications for everything, but leave the live notifications and video notifications up and it will alert you faster than the apps will. So as soon as I publish something, it will alert you. I'm currently in Germany studying and local news says they're freaking out about the power outages. I did not lose power though. Okay, good that you didn't lose any power, Jesse. But yeah, they're nervous. Like there's been a lot of talk. I have to ask you, Jesse, and that's because I have a couple friends that are from Spain that I was talking to this morning, which was their evening. They said that they're talking about a bigger outage to come. Is that something that they're talking about on the news where you are? Well, Billy D, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Yes. See, Jesse, I just talked about that on the video that I just published and no one else is talking about it, that there's been active talks on the news saying that they're preparing for a much larger outage, but they won't say the cause of the outage. People are freaking out like, true, Michelle, true. You should, Little Red. It has created a panic for sure. Do you feel like people are panic buying now because of the outage? Your husband and I heard a high sound before the outage. Interesting. And what did they say was the cause of that outage? I'm straight up conspiracy theory lane. Like anything you say in here, I'll probably dabble with it. Ooh, I'll have to go check his channel out. 10 Days of Darkness Reset. So a lot of people worry about, like, I know I've had like debates with people where they're like, well, there's going to be a red dawn, people are going to touch the ground, and then people are like, nobody's going to touch the ground. I'm telling you right now, let's just say, hypothetically, for entertainment purposes only, that's kind of my lines when I dabble on TikTok. I don't know if I have to say that here. It's just to prevent myself from getting in trouble. Let's say China hacked the grid, right? Let's say they hacked the grid. What do you think the cities would be like in the United States after 72 hours? Let's say they kept it shut down for 72 hours. Now, my feeling is in the South, because of so many power outages, that they would still be rocking on. But I think day 5, they'd start to get nervous. Oh, it's good to say here. Thank you, Jessica. For entertainment purposes only. What do you think? What do you think the timeline would be? I think if there was no cell phone reception and service went down, not only electrical, cell phone, I think if it just was power out, I think we'd be solid for like at least 6 days before chaos outbroke, at least. Now, if you took away cellular, I think that would be very rapid. Very, very quick. Oh yeah, Matt, I think that there's going to be some empty shelves and people are going to lose their minds. Because once again, I mean, who was it that just released? They were like, oh, there's not going to be any empty shelves. Everything's fine. Y'all need to be preparing. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, tomorrow, I'm going to go do a huge prep haul. of a bunch of stuff. Why? Because I tried to get ahead of it, like way ahead of it. Code red? Maybe. It would go full red dawn that day. You think so? You think? Husband fell again. Did you hear that one? Did you hear him yell on that one? Sorry. I'm moving the stand around. See, Force Guy, I could get with you on that. 24 hours, if communications went down, I could see that. I could see that. I'm going to tell you right now, the state of Utah during C-19 didn't even last a week during the pandemic before people, I mean, literally, I remember I went into the store. I mean, I already prepped, right? You just heard FAFO again. I went into the store. I've already prepped, okay? And there was straight up somebody in this little grandma's face, like physically in. And she just looked so disheveled. All the shelves were empty. And she was like, I just had a list and I can't get any of it. And so I pulled her aside. I pulled her away from the psycho gal. And this article, like this story ended up being in the paper and on news outlets. I pulled her aside and I was like, let me see your list. And she gave me her list and I was like, okay, this is feasible. I can do this. I told her to go wait in her car. And I was like, it's really contagious. I don't want you to get sick. I mean, she was really sweet little old gal, like just the sweetest elderly woman I've ever seen. And so she was like, I just needed to get groceries and everything is empty. She was just disheveled by it. She just did not expect what she was seeing. And so I was like, I'm going to be back in 20 minutes and I'll go get you some. And I went back and I got almost every single thing on her list or substituted it with it. And I brought it back with mason jars and everything. Guess what? Lady took down my phone number. She returned me my mason jars. She is a friend for life, okay? Anybody who gives me back my mason jars when I bring you some food, don't be keeping that stuff. Costs money. But I got her entire grocery list because I already prepped. And I was like, don't go in there. Text me if you need something. And before it was just, she makes her own bread. And she was like, I just want flour. I was like, I'll bring you flour. I'll bring you flour. Don't worry about that. Things, what am I getting? Okay, so I'm going to go look at some auto parts. I got to go get a couple more rainwater collection systems. Because of these tariffs and stuff like that, I have to go pick up some more lumber because I am building a bunch of stuff out at the property. So I do need to put in an order at the lumber mill that's there. It's local, so I'm not expecting the prices to go up, but I do need to get that out at the property. I need to get building as fast as I can. A bunch more chicken feed. A bunch. I'm not even going to play with it. When people start panicking, they clear shelves. So anything that I know that I'm kind of lacking or that my supply is going down, I'm going to go get. Yeah, she's the sweetest little gal. Sweetest little gal. Don't go to Louisiana. We lose power at least 2 times a month. 1 minute. Oh, where did that comment go? 1 minute. It's 2005. Next, it's 1832. Tyler. He says, we spiral out fast. He said, next thing you know, it is 1832. You thought it was the Wild Wild West? Now you know. If someone returned jars that are unwashed, they're temporarily banned. True. 3 days. It could be 3 days. A lot of people lose their mind. People are so addicted to having cell phones. I don't see if self-service went down, how fast people would lose their minds. Think about it. TikTok, I reported. So I used to do a lot of current world affairs on TikTok, but then I almost lost my account. I had to step back. I had to step back on news stories. I get a little nervous when I talk about anything in the news because I had so many violations. I was pending losing my entire account. But when like AT&T went down and then Verizon went down, and I was covering those like as they were going, and people were already spiraling out. Yeah, they're addicted to it. Rolling blackouts in summertime. But do you think California would handle it if all the cell phone service went down at the same time? Like, I'm shocked that people are not more upset with what happened in Europe. It literally goes hand in hand. Power goes out, communications go down. No news outlet reporting if they're going to have service up at any time, or if it was a storm or anything like that. Like, you got four consequences right there, like four things stacking on top of each other to what is considered a grid down. It would be treated like it was an apocalypse. Oh, I agree. Yes. No cell phones, people would get upset by day 3. Yeah. And if they have no way to have any communication. Not having. Sean Donna said, I'm from Northern California, and they would not be okay with having no. Table scraps to feed chickens. Yeah, I do feed them a lot. I'm actually dabbling in making my own chicken feed. I'm learning. I don't know if I have enough room on this property to grow everything I would need, but out on the other property, I think I could. But I got, there's like 18 over there. Be a lot of chicken. That would be a lot of food to waste. But they are like the best little garbage disposal. You washed all the dirty clothes in the house today after you heard about it this morning? I was watching it yesterday. I was watching it, and then I was DMing friends that I have overseas, just wanting to know what information was being put out, what news outlets were saying, just to kind of see through it. The weeds from the garden works too. True, Jack, 100%. They do love the weeds from the garden. I do need to make barricades so that they don't eat my garden. They're actually not free roam chickens anymore because they got themselves in trouble for how much they eat my garden. In Helena, when it was hit, I was the only one on my block when Helena hit that was happy. No power, so I could see the sky, no traffic because no fuel. That's horrible. Do you think we'll have a short grid down test run in the States? Yes. I think so. They've been test running hospitals, bank systems. They've been test running for a minute. I think that that's 100% possibility. Honestly, if we went back in tech-wise to 1950s, it'd be good. Don't mind the radio, TV. JCG, you should have heard the conversation on Sunday. So my best friend, she comes to the house. She's partly my assistant. She helps me out as much as I can because I am a one-person machine. Everything you see, I do. All of that, I do that. Then I do all of you guys and all of the TikToks and all the videos, and I'm a one person. I get tired and it's a little rough. But she was laughing and she goes, I have to ask you, Crystal, who in this world has VHSs still? I said, don't you dare go in the other room where my vinyl is. You leave me alone. And she's like, get rid of all the cases and put your DVDs and DVD cases, and you don't need VHSs. Just get it on DVD. And I was like, don't you ever talk to me like that. Do not ever talk to me like that. And she was like, what? She goes, who has a V8 or a VCR anymore? And I was like, I do. And I have an 8-track player too. Leave me alone. And she was like, of course you do. Of course you do. Because she was trying to figure out a way for me to organize a little bit better. Yeah. Well, and same, like, I mean, we didn't have electricity overseas half the time because we would lose electricity or AC's units would go out. It was hot. You can live without electricity. I live without electricity. Don't you dare diss my VHS. I will not. You love physical media. It gives you nostalgia. Oh, I love that, Selena. For me, I think it's a ripoff on some of these streaming sites. You have so much at your hands to watch. And for me, I watch the same things. I'm a creature of habit, though. How many of you guys in here are creatures of habit? I'm a creature of habit. I like things a very specific way. You're telling Jack, it's fine, it's fine. I'm pretty old. I get it. I think it was a test. Oh, chat's going so fast. Down for enough time to access response, backup, chaos. Yeah, I think 100% that. Code Red, you're right on. Physical media. Dare not to diss my VHSs. I hear you, chicken. She just jumped out. You can content. If an EMP hits, you can create content with smoke signals, right? Did you guys watch my live smoke signals? Not that much younger. I could live without power. I'm a Flintstone living with the Jetson world. I agree with that. So a lot of people, like some people have asked me, they're like, on your property, you have power lines. How are you off grid? I'm like, those are industrial power lines. Well, you can connect to those. I ain't fucking with that kind of wattage. First of all, I ain't connected to that. Second of all, it barely touches like one of the perimeters of my property. I ain't messing with that. Second of all, you can't hook residential up to it. And the nearest like power line is like 10 miles down the road for a residential, a lower voltage line to connect to. I'm not going to pay for that. So that property essentially is never going to have that. It has to be solar or it's going to have to be generated. And I would rather live that way. And so I love it because I'll go stay out at the property quite often. And I brought my kids out there. My husband stayed out there. It's a nice getaway in a sense, right? We're not running all the gadgets. Yeah, there's a TV in there. There's all kinds of stuff, but I ain't going to run that unless I really want to. And if I'm going to be hauling that fuel, and now that I'm transporting a ton of fuel and a ton of stuff out there, I just prefer to sit around the fire. I love to read. The camper is filled with books, so I love to read. I love to listen to music, those kind of things. We don't have to have electricity to survive. You keep them in a Faraday bag? Huh. 100% dependent verb. Okay. You used to be a creature of habit? Yeah, Jack. Constantly have a DVD player in the background of TV. So, what are your guys' go-to creature of habits shows, like TV shows? If you watch them on Netflix or if you own the entire series, I want to hear all 80 of your guys's. What are your guys' comfort shows? Like I'm talking a comfort show that you've watched on repeat because creature of habit are gonna know what I'm talking about. They're gonna know what I'm talking about. Where you have watched a series so many times that no matter what, you haven't memorized. You haven't memorized every single time. It could just play in the background. You could fall asleep to it. You could be doing chores to it. What is the show that is your comfort show? Kelly says, Sons of Anarchy. Everyone loves Raymond. Love it. Revolution. Let's go. Oh, you have your Kindle in the Faraday bag. Smart egg. That's super smart. I have a terabyte hard drive in a Faraday bag and an extra laptop. Murder, She Wrote. Let's go. I do know that one by heart. My grandpa's comfort show was MASH. I could probably name almost every episode on there because that's all I watched. Jordan, yeah. Dexter, definitely up there. Little House on the Prairie, I do love that. I do imitate that a lot on TikTok. So if you ever catch me in a bonnet, becoming, we haven't even given myself a name, Bonnet Betty. Band of Brothers. Ooh, I do love Band of Brothers. Somebody's like, yes, MASH. Big Bang Theory, Alone. Jessica, me and you are speaking the same language. So I do love The Walking Dead. I do love The Fear of the Walking Dead. I feel like that one did not get the justification it needed. Now, the reason why I love The Fear of Walking Dead, I love season 2. And that is because I live in Utah and I live near a lot of different prepper ranches. I have friends who own a prepper ranch that's right over there that teach survival courses, and I've come in there. That like sustainability that they show, they like did not give the credit where it was like it was due, okay? They had things pretty well set there until they ran out of water. You own all the Walking Dead series on Blu-ray. Let's go. I love Dexter, Walking Dead, and Fear the Walking Dead. Those 3, I probably have every episode. My favorite, I'm a zombie movie person. I do love zombie movies. So, like, my sleep movie is Dawn of the Dead. Like, I can fall asleep to that. I can tell you exactly what part of the movie. Don't ask me why. It's always been that for a very long time. Games of Thrones. Yeah. I like Alone. Anything that makes me think to be prepared. Exactly. MASH. Yeah, I love MASH. I do love old westerns. Games of Thrones, Dexter. Dexter is what my dog's named after. If you guys don't know, my little white dog that's upstairs, he's 15 years old. His name is Dexter. He is named off of that show. I got it when that show came out. I got him. Rhubarb. I know some people think zombie movies are corny, but I do love it because my favorite is the impact of fear, right? That is something that most directors, they really want to instill that chaos and that fear factor. So I like it. So they bring up a bunch of different subjects that maybe I would not have thought of on my own because they have to get creative because they have to beat the next show, right? Jericho, I love Jericho. If you have not seen Jericho, okay. Jericho, season 2 sucked. Season 1, phenomenal. Phenomenal. It was just, it was ahead of its time. Nature, I agree. People are getting really crazy. Like, I can show you guys. You guys want to see? I'll show you guys. Like, so I made you know, some videos, and I was poking at people, okay? I do rage bait sometimes. I like it. Don't mind me. You're already logged in. Thank you. They pulled Jericho because off the air fast once it caught on. Yeah. They shut that down so quick. You could tell it wasn't even like the same editor or producer. Like it changed very quickly. So I was poking at people on the internet, and I'll show you guys. I'll show you what's going on. So when I say people are really on edge, they are very much. People are on edge. Okay. So this is a video that should not trigger anybody. Okay. Should not trigger anybody. So sadly, yeah. When I say people are really on, I got sound overlaying. Very much. I can afford to prepare. People are on edge. Okay. There we go. Hold up. Don't ask. Anybody can prepare. prepare as long as they work it into their grocery bills and they choose to do shelf stable and staples in their pantry. They can afford to do any kind of preparedness. No, the cost of living, I cannot afford to prepare no matter what. Okay, I don't want to sound like a jerk now, but I mean, what kind of food do you actually eat? I already live on a tight budget. I can't afford all the things that you do. Things I do, like buy rice in bulk and then stretch it through the entire month and allow my grocery bill to have room for fluctuation.
I have a chicken running around.
You're saying you can't afford these things, but a bag of rice is pretty cheap and it can feed your family. I mean, we're talking a Costco-sized bag for a month. I don't want to be eating rice all month long. That's why we store up on seasonings and canned goods so you can add them to the rice so you can have different variations so you don't end up with meal fatigue. Ew, I don't like canned food. It's not fresh. See, you're giving off spoiled right now. You're saying you can't prepare. You don't want to find a way to prepare, but then you want to blame me because I'm giving you options. So, yeah, that's going to suck. The recession's going to suck for you. Did you hear we're going into a recession? And exactly, yeah. That's one of the things. So many people either A, loved it, or B, they went completely off the cuff. They lost it. They were so angry. And I was like, y'all, we have been heading towards a recession for over 6 years. You can only go for so long. This inflation, it's wild. It is wild. And you can't afford not to prepare. You can't afford not to right now. And not many people understand that. And so some people were like, yes, let's do this. I want you to teach me more. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Like, here, go to the YouTube channel. It'll teach you mylaring 101. Those are the people who are like, I want to learn more. I'm like, go and do the basics. I'll pump out a basics video and then I'll pump out something like tomorrow's video for all of you that have been prepping for a long time. This one is gold, okay? And then I don't have any of the fancy stuff, okay? I'll just admit it. I'm not very fancy. I don't have a lot of technology. It is just me. But this item right here, I have not heard a single person talk about it. And y'all might really love it. And it's more in depth, right? You got it for more in depth for those who love prepping that way. And then, you know, we have new preppers, so I try to like cover every way. The time to buy is always now, right? Don't wait. I would not personally wait. Just because we watched what happened with the stores during the pandemic. Watching stores start to increase to price match and to increase to the next person. I mean, the moment that the shortages hit with these cargo ships, they're going to jack up prices of things that are not imported, okay? Greed is a real thing. Cream of tuna over toast, yes. You'll just get the I'll come to your house if something happens reply. Normally I get death threats on TikTok. I'll get like people who will send me emails and they're like, I'm going to break into your house and I'm going to get you. I had somebody say that they wanted to make my skin into a quilt. Oh, okay. That went real left field. Oh, yeah. Egg, I agree. Like, some people think that nothing happened during the pandemic. Yeah, there is some weirdos out there. So normally I get, like, the death threats. It's always some chauvinistic, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think men are awesome, okay? And they're a great part. You know, men and women complement each other very, very well. But because I'm a woman in this industry, I do get, like, seriously deluded minded people who like I've compared with a couple other preppers that are out there where they're like, show me your DMs. And they're like, I'm like, these are just my death threats of this month. And they're like, I get like I'm gonna come to your house, or I'll just come to your house when I need something. He goes, I don't get those kind of things. And I'm like, if you ever notice when I take a break from social media, it's like normally super gross behavior. And I'll see that also with even some of the companies that I'll work with. So there's been times like where I'm like working with a company and I'll recommend another channel or something. I'm like, oh, you should work with them, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like starting to build their following on TikTok. And that company will send them like a whole box array of all the things that they want them to show and put up online and blah, 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 blah. But they make me, like, I'll pay for most of it all the time by myself. But they'll send me like a little packet and they're like, here, I'm just going to give that to her. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's a little hard. I stay pretty positive through it and I just kind of just truck through it. These chickens are jumping in and out of the coop and they're running around. You've been prepping a long time, Grace. Very nice. Where did you say you were from once upon a time? Did you say Puerto Rico? The skin quilt? Oh yeah. That's probably the weirdest one I've had in like 4 months. They said that they were going to make a quilt out of my skin and sleep with it. All I got was Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. Put the lotion on the skin or you get the hose again. It was the weirdest thing I've ever heard. And I was just like, okay, that's a block. Weirdos out there. Like I said, some people are very dedicated to this. They're very, very, very dedicated. Started prepping in 2015. Raised by your mama who lived through the Great Depression. Jamie, you love the light video? Let's go. I feel like light discipline isn't talked about enough. Quail to raise as meat chickens. Yes, Vernon. Tell me how that goes. How fast? They're really fast to maturity. You loved it, Jamie? That's awesome. Hi, Dominic. Welcome in. Welcome in. The quilt is hilarious. Anyone seen the Operation Endgame? I have not. There's a quote from there, from a quilt, reminded me of, oh, okay, maybe I need to go watch that, or I might have nightmares. Yeah, and sleep with it, Jordan. Yes. Yes. I said what I said. There's some few ones. We could totally deep dive in a few ones. You're looking into quail. I was looking into quail too. The only problem I've had with quail is, so my family had quails. So we had ducks, chickens, turkeys, and quails. The quails always would run amok and the dogs would get them. So I felt like I'd have to build them a very special enclosure so they could not escape. Thanks, Dominic. I definitely try to touch on subjects that not everybody has talked on. Some of these subjects like light discipline, I did that a couple years ago on TikTok, but I was like, you know what? I feel like I haven't seen light discipline, and what a better way to use than a grid down situation where the power went down through multiple countries. My husband said the same thing, and then I came home with ducks and chickens. Now I really have to do that. Have a wonderful night, JCG. And I hope you love the Discord. The Discord is amazing. It's just a plethora of information. If one person doesn't have an answer, maybe another prepper has an answer. I feel like we just all learn from each other. Yeah, nature. We were just talking about that. So this morning on TikTok, I was discussing it. I was watching it last night, like watching everything that was going on. But then this morning we discussed it a lot, and then we discussed it on here earlier. But I definitely think it was a test run. I definitely think that it really stressed the situation. It stressed those countries. No, you're good, nature. If you, we can re-talk about it. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that come in and out when I'm live. So Rachel, I just launched a new video. It is called, let me find it really quick. Light discipline, don't be the beacon of light. So it's talking about the power outages that happen in Portugal, Spain, parts of France, and parts of Germany, and what that entails, but also understanding you don't want to be the lighthouse at the end of the road. So remembering that when we're prepping and we want to be self-sufficient, and if the lights go off, we all know what to do, but making sure you're not a beacon of light, making sure other people can't see into your home or notice that you have electricity when they're without. It will make you very, very, very vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable to people coming after you, essentially. Escaping lights, and I realized that they were pretty. Oh yeah, solar power. So like my chicken coop area runs off of all solar power. Yeah, definitely go watch that video because it's great. Like, I don't want to be like tooting my own horn. Okay, we're not that weird and we're not egotistical, but it is a definite different approach to looking at the blackouts and a grid down. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want people being like, oh, they have what I want. Trying to find fuel for your. Mm-hmm. So one thing I learned in Alaska is because it's sunny from like this point until like June, you just keep gaining daylight and the sun just never sets. Blackout blinds, blackout curtains, those work amazing. Acorns are high in protein. Yep. I wish I had an acorn tree. I wish I had an acorn tree. But I think there's a lot of things that we can take from understanding what it's like without solar. The first subject and then a European hit. Yep. I do have pine nuts. I am very excited about that. I'm probably overly ecstatic, and everybody else is like, why does she care so much about her pine nuts? But pinyon pines on that property, understand that they're native to the area. They are extremely drought resistant. They do not need water. They will keep going. Like those trees are amazing. Oh, very cool. I'll have to go check that out. Pine nuts are, you got to think, you have an oil, you have a fat, you have a protein, you have it where it comes back time and time again. And it takes very little to process them. I ate some off the tree that are from the season before. It doesn't take anything to process them. You just have to dry them out. Collect them. My kids are going to have so many chores gathering me pine cones out there. And they're going to be getting all the pine nuts. You have a solar chicken door, and it's nice. Do you love it, Daisy? It scares me. I've never put one in because I was scared that it was going to be like a guillotine. I'm a little scared. Technology kind of scares me. I feel like I'm going to be one of these people on the channels that are like the least technical because I'm like me and chat, GPT or whatever it is. I think it knows a little too much about me at this point, and so I think I just need to like block it. AI kind of freaks me out a lot. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Average Rage, welcome in, welcome in. That's so nice. Canadian Prepper is awesome. Speaking of Canadian Prepper, how many of you females have tried out the pants from his site? I know that was in that interview. Let's dabble over it. Nate's awesome. I did just pitch him a question trying to get a different size. But how many of you guys love your tactical pants? See, I feel like I am so picky. I am picky to my core. And he was like, you got to try these. You just got to try them. So I ordered them. And I am highly impressed. Highly impressed. To the point I just said, hey, if you can get them in this size and have all the colors, I will buy every single pair. They are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like, and I'm more of a skeptic than anything. And I was like, well, damn. All right. All right. These are really nice. These are real nice. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if you can get more of those in. Might need a few. They're really nice. Like, I'm wearing them right now. I've been messing with them for about 2 weeks now. Just to see if I like them. And they are very comfortable. The only flaw that I have is they did not have my size, so I sized up and they are a little big. But because they don't have extreme stretch, so order your size or go up one size, they don't stretch and fall off. But my favorite part about them is, okay, I don't know if you can see. We'll just talk. The pocket lining, I really like it. Okay. Yeah. I literally just sent a message and I said, can you get those in like a size 4 or size 6? And I will buy every color. They're the female, I'll look it up really quick. Hold up. Okay, so the problem I have with pants, right, is when I put my knives on and stuff like that, especially even on some of my cargos and even my tack pants that I'll carry different magazines inside of them. Around the pocket, there is a seam line. I will drop a knife. I literally own 7 of the same knife because it's my absolute favorite, because it will slide off in my vehicle when I'm driving. It will fall between the seatbelt and I get so frustrated. And however they did the stitching, it grips very well. And I have not lost a single item that I've had clamped to these pants. And I was like, okay, I'm impressed, like beyond. Hello, Jonathan. Welcome in. What's my favorite knife? I love my buck knives. And my favorite one is, what is the name of it? Hold on. You guys are catching me off. What is the name? Spitfire. I'm like, hold on. Spitfire. I have Spitfire minis and the Spitfire. Love the knife. It's amazing. I own multiple copies of it. It's never failed me. They have a lifetime. I don't know why I own so many. It's just because I'm scared I'll drop it. So I have like one in my car. I have one on me. I have one upstairs. I have one in my bags. I love them. Love buck knife. Love them. Ooh. Matches your hair. The pants, somebody asked me what was the name. It's on Canadian Preppers. It's the first female pant that comes forward. And then I bought like multiple pairs of pants. I just ordered the male pants that have the zipper, and I ordered them in like a size 30-30. I'm hoping that they'll fit. I'm really short, so I need a short length, but these ones' length isn't too bad for me. But if you're looking for a good pant, those ones, they're phenomenal. Like, they're phenomenal. So I'm stuck on them now, apparently. I was like, well, I also ordered a different pair. Let me see. Let me pull up that website. There it is. I'll name off the other one. The other one I think is in, trying to remember. The other one is a lot pricier, but for hiking, I'm very excited and very happy. I'm very happy with the material. Like extremely happy. Like I will not be upset at all. The ones I'm wearing are the where are they? They are the LA police gear. Stretch. Regular sizes only. I think it might be the 722. Hold up. I can tell you right now. I can tell you I can look up every single buck knife I own. You ready for it? I'll tell you every single one I own. Love them. They're from Idaho. They're a family-owned business. Phenomenal. So I have a few knives. One of them I'm petrified. I would probably wear it with this one. So 722, love it. Own it in black. I own it in orange. And I own it in silver. Most of my mods actually own the knife also. The 726 is the mini Spitfire. Ooh. They came out with a blue one. That's a cute scouting knife. Cute, I guess. Guess that's not one we want. Let's do... What's the other one? Hold on. I have an 839 mini deploy auto knife. That one's really nice. The folding hunter knife is phenomenal. The 110. And the 110 Slim Pro. I have that one on my hunting pack. The Slim Pro. And I really like it. Slim Pro is great. Great. Now, my absolute favorite knife, besides a Spitfire, but this one I am more timid on carrying because I am scared. Oh my gosh, did I just miss something? I did. Dragon Bird, thank you so much for the gift. Oh my gosh, thank you. On my side and a Gerber pliers since you were 16 and now you're turning 60. I have my Gerber multi-tool set since the day I joined the military, and that was in 2006. It's almost been 20 years and I still love it. You're not a buck fan. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. You're a huge buck fan? Okay, I'm going to tell you which one's my absolute favorite, but I am petrified to carry it because I almost lost it, and I felt sick when I thought I lost it. Where is it? Where is it? Buck Knife made me a custom knife, and it was the Sprint Pro knife, but they put my name in it. So nice. Amazing. Most beautiful knife. But it's the Sprint Ops knife, the 843. But they engraved my name on it, and I have been petrified to lose it. But I do like the 838, the auto deploy knife. I have that one. I have a lot of buck knives. A lot. And I haven't broken one yet. Like I said, kind of a connoisseur. When I like something, I stick with it no matter what. Spitfire. I'm not so sad if I lose that one. If I lose one, I love the Spitfire. It's great. It's sharp. It's very, very sharp. Easy to use. Buck 110. I love that when I'm carrying on my hip. I have a Buck 110 attached to my tactical belt. 110. There's so much you can do with a 110. It has so much design to it. Not a lot of people know. Thank you so much, Dragon Bird. Oh, thanks, Vernon. I try to stay really, like, there is subjects that I am not the best at. Like fuel, my husband is 100 times better. He will talk to you all day about fuel and fuel storage. But when it comes to like this stuff, he's like, I don't even dabble in that. But he's looking at getting me a Benchmade, a custom knife this year to celebrate the growth of my channel. And we're about at 250,000 over on TikTok. I try to keep it very like, I have my cheap preps, which there's nothing wrong with it. I have like my mid-grade preps. I have more of my expensive preps. I have some of my really fancy preps, but I try to keep it low key because nobody gets there overnight. Ooh, I'll look that one up, Vernon. I have never heard. Ooh, already typing it in. White River. They're out of Montana. Oh, okay. Okay, hold up. I'm not complaining. See, this is what I mean. See, this is why I can't go into gun stores or knife stores. See, do you understand? Do you understand? I'm not allowed to go into places because I have a problem. Some girls like their expensive jewelry and purses, and I like some of that stuff too. You know, I got to blend in with society. Oh, see. Okay, that's nice. They've got some really nice. See, they already got me. They got a knife for the anglers. They got a knife for the hunters, and I love to go hunting. So you start talking my love language right here, and I will deep dive into knives, guns, ammunition. This year, I think if I get the draw, fingers crossed. Y'all better have your fingers crossed that I get the draw, okay? Because I have a really nice archery hunt planned, okay? And if I don't get it, you're going to watch me lose my mind, okay? It's an expensive habit, okay? It's a very expensive hobby. A buck. Which site is that one off of? I'm looking for it. I'm looking. Is it from Buck Knives? Compadre. I gotta look it up. I'm looking. 104. I might. I want to say I might not have this one. No, I don't have this one because it's in a sheath. You're looking at the website too. Yeah. You love White River. You have a couple. Okay. Well, I have a bunch. I have like Smith and Weston ones. I mean, I got them all. Like you name it. Like I'm pretty sure if I open this drawer, I'm probably going to find a different knife. I'm probably, maybe not. I know I got a 110 behind me. What other ones do I got? Oh, here you go. Like I have a problem. I have problems. Okay? And I'm not going to lie. May have just picked up a set of throwing knives from SOG. But you know, they make some good stuff, man. They make some good stuff. And you can't do anything but just, you know, I like a good blade, man. It's a good problem to have. My husband sometimes gets frustrated because, like, I'll get sent, like, a package, right? And they'll go, gotta stick to watching you on YouTube. Yeah, don't go into the social media. I don't even like TikTok. TikTok, it's, like, the same very basic levels. Over here, we can get a lot deeper in prepping. Oh, yeah, he has some phenomenal. So my husband collects tomahawks. He loves them. I do too. But we both have problems. We get a little eccentric in our collections. We try one, we'll fall in love with it, then I find another one and I'll try. But he'll see like a package come, right? Like Buck Knife sent me a package one time. And that's when they put that custom one in there. And he was like, what's for me? And I was like, and I'm like picking out which one I want to get out. And I was like, you can have this one. He's like, are you giving me the cheapest one? I'm like, no. But, you know, and then it's funny because it's all in the same household, but we both love our blades just different ways. Oh, Tori, you're so welcome. You are so welcome. I really like a lot of stuff. Rivers. Well, you're going to pay big money for the ones you really like. So one of the multi-tools that I've been testing out because I was told to replace my Gerber. Never going to replace it. Okay. You go see Canadian Prepper, tell him I'm never getting rid of my Gerber, okay? He can't force me, okay? He can't force me. But I did try out one of his on his multi-tools, and I'm pretty impressed by it. I actually like it. This one's actually really nice. It's very nice. It's very light. Very light. I actually get scared that I'm going to lose it. But it's very nice. It's very nice. And the part that I really do like about it is it kind of has like a little hidden compartment in there. And you just take out the Phillips screwdriver and you just attach it into there and then it works out. I do like that. I do like that. And it's very lightweight. The knife is very sharp. It's very, very nice. And I tested on some wire and it did really, really well. So now this is might be replacing one of my everyday carries because my Gerber one from the military is extremely heavy and it's much larger. Knife of the Month Club. I'm going to need to be in that club. We used to collect knives from different companies. You bought at least 100 knives. Your everyday carry now is the one of my new... Ooh. Ooh. You now don't want to carry anything different? That's nice. Archery. Are you guys... Okay, so I have to ask you some questions, Tori, because my heart is breaking for you guys right now. Are you guys allowed to have a bow? Are you allowed to do archery hunting? Are you allowed to have crossbows? I have to ask a few questions. So we have a couple crossbows over there. Okay, so crossbows, great. Great. Definitely those arrows. The tips can be a vicious one right there. So I would definitely say crossbows. Can you get a hold of spike strips in Canada? Spike strips is a way to deter traffic that could be coming near your home or to disable vehicles in, say, in a shit hits the fan situation. I love my spike strips. I'm a connoisseur. I also do like tripwires and using blanks. Double check and see if you can. I don't know what all the rules are for Canada. My heart breaks for you guys. Like, sometimes I might make the joke, like, do you want to become the 51st state? Don't take it as, like, I want you to become a state. You guys can just become our sister country. You just claim independence. It breaks my heart you guys are going through this. Like, I'm like, they did this in Australia already. They took from Australia, and once they take, they'll never give it back. She goes, ha ha ha, no, I don't want to be your 51st state. You don't have to be a 51st, okay? We'll just call you the sister country to the state of Utah, okay? I got mine off of TikTok Shop before they got banned. Hold on. I'll show you what it looks like. I have about 30 of these bad boys. Where are they? I feel like I hid them because they got banned on TikTok. Hold up. Where are they? They're small metal. I only have one unboxed. So you just set up a line to it, but it's a little contraption and it fires off a blank. I wonder if my husband took it out to the field to test it. I'm not seeing it. Okay, I'm not seeing it in this general area, and I know it wouldn't be in any of those cases. It might be in the safe. But it is a little contraption. It has pretty much a pin on it to light off a blank. Let's go. Well over a year ago. I'm trying to remember. So you can find where it's like a blank. I wish I knew exactly where it was in here. I'm failing organization right now. The same thing happened. I'm like, last time it was up there. But I have a feeling the guys were testing it out. So we just recently found out that there are some things that are illegal in Utah that we did not know. Don't break the law, follow all your laws and guidelines. But our group, so we do have a prepper group, and we all serve different functions and we all do different things and we all have different skills. And they do a lot of tactical training, a lot of training. And you know, there was a day my husband was teaching them what me and my husband both did. We both, you know, drove convoys. We did security convoys, okay? Not just a convoy, okay? And so he was teaching them how to run and gun. Apparently that's illegal out of a moving vehicle. We did not know that. Don't do that. Don't do it, okay? You hear me? Okay, just so we're on the same page. Okay, yes, 51st state, awesome. I'm half American now. You know, we could just adopt, you know. There is like a place in Nevada that's like considered its own country. And it's literally like 3 acres. Have you guys ever heard of that? There's like a location inside Nevada where they declared their independence. It's like literally like 3 to 5 acres. It's so tiny. I was like, can I claim my property as my own country? Like, would that be too weird? It's a mouse trap that sets off a shelf. Yeah. What is it called though? What's like the name? Yeah, NS, you're fine. You're fine, NS. Yeah, it's by Carson City, right? I knew Strong Eyes was from there. He would know what I was talking about. I need to buy a lot more acreage, but I guess we could claim my property as a country, and then I'll just give you guys dual citizenship. No passport needed. I'm just gonna vet you first. I'm gonna be like, okay, tell me about yourself. I need to decide who we're keeping and who we're disregarding. I don't feel like that would be too hard of something. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to lose my voice. I've been sick. I'm shocked that I'm not like coughing my guts out. But it's in Nevada, and they claim themselves as their own sovereign. My trade wars would suck. Oh yeah, I would be a dictator. Hey, no, maybe, partially. They would suck. I'd be like it, but everybody gets Second Amendment. I have to see NASCAR before the shit show, right? Like, this stuff is escalating. Who in here feels like the temperature of the world is escalating extremely rapid? That garbage takes forever to get over a cough. Yeah. It's like been lingering, and it's like the worst in the mornings. I'm like super raspy. I was like coughing my lungs out while I filmed today. Do I have any livestock? Yes. Not big livestock, not yet. Once I get the water well out at the property, then we will get cattle. But I have ducks, I have chickens. I grew up with cows, grown up doing all the things. I had horses till I was 20. but I haven't had property to have them. So the biggest thing for me on the property is I'm literally saving everything I've made to get a well dug. As soon as we get a well dug, that is going to be a game changer out there. But until then, it's just water collection and hauling in water, which sustainability, if something was to happen, that would be an impossible task. Why don't more people file for the Homestead Act? No more taxes. You can't ever sell. I'd have to look more in it. I really don't want the government to know anything I'm doing. I know that sounds really strange, but like even my grandpa, like when he built the tunnel system underneath their house, he did not want to file permits and stuff because he didn't want any government organization knowing what he was doing. So I think that those are great acts, but once again, you're putting yourself into a system and then they know, and I'm a little nervous. We are about to hit overdrive within 5 years. Yes. Hello from Colorado. Just try and do it. Ask. There's nothing wrong with trying to do it first and ask for forgiveness later. Just ask for forgiveness later. Forgiveness later. Act now. Oh, that's amazing. We are not that shallow, unfortunately, in the Rockies. I would try some of the DIY stuff. I've been looking that up. The issue is the shell rock. I think that that's going to be the hardest issue for us. And, you know, they're saying 400 to 600 feet, and I don't know if I got that. You have chickens, ducks, cows. Ooh, nice. You live in Minnesota. Very nice. Ask forgiveness later. Yeah, just do now. Ask forgiveness later. If you get into a marital spat, don't blame me. But I'm one of those, like, I personally, my grandparents instilled in me, you don't want the government in your business. Now, mind you, my family has been here since this land was established as a state. And they've gone through things. They've done things. And the more and more the government has gotten involved, the more withdrawn from the government we are. I hope that I'm using the right verbiage. I get nervous on how I say it. Nice. It's not great water, but it's drinkable. It's perfect. That works. There's a few things. Hold on, I'm gonna cough. I think. I'm feeling all my congestion come in. How long do you store water, and is glass jars better like mason jars? How long do I store water? So let me grab a container for you. I don't store water in mason jars. Occasionally I will can some water just in case of an emergency. Type of water containers I have. So I have a big 250 gallon container, a couple 55 gallon drums, all of those kind of things. These are easiest to explain when I'm on camera because once again, I can hold it, fit it, y'all can see it, feel it, and you guys can get a better example. So I love these and I love the dark blue ones. The reason why is algae is photosynthesizes. It's a, what is it? It's a photosynthetic organism. Organism? Is that what it is? Anyways, they love light. And so you need something that's going to block out the light. So you want the blues, you want the dark greens, you want the black pretty much. anything can concur. Thank you. When I'm talking, I talk pretty fast, so sometimes I don't say it right. But this one I keep empty so I can show you guys. It's very simple, very easy. Has a little spout. But what I do is I dump bleach in, and then I shake it up like crazy. So what I would do is dump bleach in, just like so. I have my little example bleach that's behind me. It is old. I don't use it anymore. But it looks like this. And when I'm storing on bleach, obviously this is a tiny little container, but this just makes it easier for you guys to see it, grasp it, and understand. 6 to 7% bleach. You got 1 gallon, you need 8 drops. 5 gallons, you're gonna need a half a teaspoon. So you're gonna need a half a teaspoon and 8 drops for this 6-gallon container. So I dump it in, shake it up. I add a little bit of water. I'm going to swish it around. I'm going to make sure that the water goes through the the handle goes all the way around through, and then I'm going to let it sit for about 20 minutes, okay? Then I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take out everything here. I'm going to dump it. I'm going to add water to it. I'm going to dump it again, okay? Then I'm going to refill it completely with water, and I'm going to add the correct amount of bleach that I need, which is the half a teaspoon plus 8 drops for this container itself. And then I'm going to rinse this underneath water before I put it in so that there's nothing on it, because water is good for a really long time. The only thing that causes water to go bad is contaminants, algae and contaminants. Water is good a very long time. So I do that about every 6-7 months. I'll empty out my storage containers. On my drums, I'll just hook up a hose to it. I'll empty it out, and I'll just use it throughout the garden, and then I'll refill it back up. I also have a 22-foot pool by a 22-foot pool, which is over 10,000 gallons of water. It's a little bit more of a lengthy process to remove all the chlorine out of there, but it works. Are they quieter? What's quieter? And then out on the property, I have 750-gallon water cisterns that are buried under the ground, so they won't freeze. Yeah, never store water thinking it's safe without some sort of purification or filtration. Yep. Oh, I agree, Charlie. Oh, asking about chickens. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to miss your comment. I'm going back up. We're not allowed to get chickens. We're allowed. But I'm thinking about putting in a small coop, like 4 chickens. You have 5 kids. I mean, is somebody going to report you for having chickens? Because my neighbors won't report me. When we had our grid down test run, you're going to enact a full bug out plan and wait and see for a while. Oh, maybe. I might reenact one. That's a good idea. For those with basements, remember some pumps can be used to collect and refill larger storage containers. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Very nice. Hopefully nobody notices. Just keep it as close to your house as possible and away from the fences. And then hopefully nobody will notice. My phone is about to die, so we're going to probably come to a closing on this live today. Plus, I'm starting to lose my voice. Here, I don't remember our frost line here. I should probably look that up. I don't think I have that memorized. Now, in Alaska, we had some pumps running all the time because the frost line was insane. Yeah, hopefully nobody knows. I hope everybody has a wonderful night tonight. Time well spent. This was a very long live, you guys. We were live for 176 minutes. And I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I hope we had some questions answered. Some might not have been the best answers. Do you guys like the lives? Do you guys want me to do more lives? Because I'm trying to do more videos and then intermediate lives in between. Yeah, more lives. Some people don't like lives though. So I always try to. I like lives because this is something I'm very comfortable with. I do this almost every day on TikTok. And I don't like TikTok lives anymore. So I feel like here it's more like, let's talk about all the different things that are going on. And it really gives you guys a chance to talk. And I think that YouTube is very much about community and who's in your community. She has more lives, but I love it. Matt, thank you so much for the gift. Oh my gosh, thank you. Can I do a live about canning? Yeah, we could set up a live probably tomorrow and I could have both canning pots out. I've already done a video on pressure canning, but I can pop both of those out and we can just talk about it. So then if you had questions like on how to set up, and I don't mind building pressure in a pressure canner so you can see what like building the pressure is like. That's awesome, Jerry. Tori, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Tori, let's celebrate your first super gift. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. More lives? Okay, more lives. Everyone's saying more lives. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it because I feel like that's the best one-on-one approach because some people will get really discouraged when watching videos. Tori says, more lives, more lives. All right, more lives. Okay, you got it. More lives. Y'all win. Y'all win. I'll do more lives. Thanks, Code Red. I'm starting to lose my voice. So I am going to end the chat right now because I am getting super raspy. I'm going to go get some honey. But thank you guys so much for being here.